The greatest human despair is the attempt to make sense of a void that never asked for an explanation. Have you ever stopped to think why we wake up every day and keep going? Why do we try so hard to achieve things, make friends, build families? Perhaps because deep down, we all feel a void that seems impossible to fill. It's as if we're in a dark room, groping the walls for a door that might not even exist. This feeling isn't your problem. It's part of being human. It's what unites us, even when we think we're alone. The emptiness you feel isn't a sign that something is wrong with you, but rather the first step toward an important discovery. From a young age, we learn to seek meaning in everything. At school, we study to get good grades. We grow up and work to earn money. We get married to start families. We buy things to feel joy. It's as if we're putting together a giant jigsaw puzzle, hoping that at the end, a picture will emerge that explains everything. But what if I told you that this puzzle will never have a final picture? That the universe wasn't meant to have a clear meaning like the stories in books? This isn't a reason for sadness, but for liberation. Think of the stars in the sky. They shine without asking why. Rivers flow without questioning their destination. Only we humans spend our entire lives asking this question. Why? Many people try to fill this void with endless work, unnecessary purchases, and relationships that don't truly make them happy. Others seek answers in religion, science, or philosophy. If you've ever felt like none of this is enough, that even when you achieve what you want, you still feel like something is missing, then this content is especially for you. Subscribe to the channel and leave a like because we'll dive deep into something many feel, but few have the courage to face: the emptiness that exists within us all. There are people who feel this emptiness more strongly. They're like sensitive antennas picking up a signal others miss. You might be one of them. These people have something special. They can't settle for easy answers. When someone says, "It's just the way it's always been," something inside them rebels. When they see everyone following a path without question, they stop and ask, "But why?" They're the restless, the questioners, the ones who lie awake at night thinking about things most people prefer to ignore, while many distract themselves with games, social media, or television. These people still feel that itch in their mind, that feeling that something doesn't fit. It's not that they're smarter or better than others. It's just that, for some reason, they can't fool themselves so easily. It's as if they have an internal lie detector that goes off when they try to accept superficial explanations. If you sometimes feel like an outsider, even among friends or family, if you have the impression that you see a world different from what others see, know that you are not alone. This sensitivity to emptiness is rare, but not unique. It's a sign that you are closer to an important truth, even if that truth is uncomfortable. Seeing the void isn't always easy. It comes at a price, and sometimes that price is high. When you start to question the meaning of things everyone around you takes for granted, you can feel very alone. It's like being in a crowded movie theater, but being the only one who realizes the film never ends. Many who feel this way experience moments of profound loneliness. They talk to friends about parties, work, or their new cell phone, but inside they think, "No one understands what really worries me." And this difference also causes fatigue. While others seem to live without this burden, you carry heavy questions. Why are we here? Where are we going? What really matters? These are questions that don't have simple answers and can leave you exhausted. And then there's the emotional void. That feeling that even joy doesn't completely fill you, as if there's always a space nothing can fill. Have you ever felt this way? How do you deal with this search for meaning? Share your experience in the comments. Maybe your words will help someone going through the same thing right now. Remember, feeling this emptiness doesn't mean you're broken. On the contrary, it means you're more awake than most. Imagine a traveler walking through an endless desert. He carries a heavy backpack filled with ancient maps that promise to show the way to a wonderful oasis. The sun burns his skin, his thirst is sharp, but he keeps going. Just a few more steps, he thinks, and I'll find the place where everything makes sense. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months. His feet bleed, his lips crack with thirst, but he keeps consulting the maps, convinced that the oasis is just around the corner, over the next dune. One night, exhausted, he collapses on the sand. He looks up at the starry sky and, for the first time, admits a terrifying possibility. What if the oasis never existed? What if all the maps were just stories invented by other desperate travelers? At that moment, something strange happens. Instead of despair, he feels unexpected relief. He realizes he's spent his entire life chasing something that might have been just an illusion. For the first time, he truly looks at the desert around him and sees beauty in the stars, in the shapes of the dunes, in the profound silence. This traveler is like the rest of us. We were born into a world full of ready-made maps, religions, ideologies, traditions, all promising to lead us to a place of complete meaning. We spend our lives following these maps, convinced that there is a final destination that will justify our entire journey. But what if, like the traveler, we needed to stop and face the truth of emptiness? What if the value of life wasn't in reaching an imaginary oasis, but in how we walk through the desert? Now let's better understand this emptiness we talk about so much. It's not a flaw in the universe or in life. It's not like a broken toy that someone should fix. It's simply the nature of things. Think of a blank canvas. It has no designs or colors of its own. It is we, the painters, who paint images on it. The universe is like this blank canvas. It has no meaning of its own. It is we, humans, who paint meanings on it. The problem begins when we expect the universe to return to us a meaning we ourselves have placed there. It's like expecting an echo to be more than just a reflection of our own voice. From a young age, we grow up hearing stories with a beginning, middle, and end. Our brains love to organize everything into stories with a clear purpose. So when we look at life and don't find an obvious story, we become confused and distressed. The emptiness we feel isn't the lack of something that should be there. It's the space between what we expect to find, a clear, ready-made meaning, and what actually exists, a neutral universe, without instructions for use. This is the revelation that so unsettles us. There is no official life manual hidden somewhere. There is no universal script we are destined to follow. And this, which seems daunting at first, can actually be the greatest freedom we can have. Anyone who notices this emptiness soon discovers another challenge: living among people who prefer not to see. Society functions like a big silent agreement. Everyone pretends they know why they're here. Everyone follows routines, celebrates dates, and observes traditions without questioning them too much. It's more comfortable this way, safer. When someone starts talking openly about meaninglessness, about emptiness, people get uncomfortable. It's like turning on a bright light in the middle of a dark movie theater. No one appreciates it. Why do you complicate things so much? Some say, you're just depressed. Others say, stop overthinking, they advise. What they don't tell you is that your questions make them uncomfortable because they don't have the answers either. Those who insist on talking about emptiness are often labeled pessimistic, negative, strange, problematic. Society has many names for those who refuse to participate in the collective illusion. It's not easy being this person. At parties, when everyone talks about lighthearted things, you think about deeper issues. At work, when everyone is excited about promotions, you wonder about the point of spending your life in an office. On social media, when everyone appears perfectly happy, you feel like something isn't right. Have you ever experienced this awakening? Have you ever felt like the only person awake in a world of sleepwalkers? Comment below using the word awakening if you've had this experience. The greatest danger isn't facing the void. It's escaping it at all costs. It's living a lifetime wearing masks, playing roles, following scripts written by others, just to avoid having to look at that blank space within ourselves. Many choose this path. They take jobs they hate because it's what they're supposed to do. They enter empty relationships because it's time to get married. They buy things they don't need because everyone else has them. They champion ideas they don't even understand because it's what my group thinks. The result? An artificial life. An existence where the person is always somewhat absent from themselves, as if watching their own life from afar, without truly participating in it. Danish philosopher Søren Kierkegaard called this the despair of not wanting to be oneself. It's when a person would rather be something else, a copy, a shadow, an echo, than face the daunting task of existing as a unique being in the face of emptiness. The real danger is dying inside long before your body stops functioning. It's reaching the end of your life and realizing you lived someone else's script, that you stifled your own voice, that you never truly existed as yourself. As the poet Henry David Thoreau said, most men lead lives of quiet desperation. That is the real danger. the quiet desperation of a life unlived, of a scream never uttered. So if there's no ready-made meaning in the universe, are we doomed to despair? Absolutely not. In fact, this might be the best news you've ever received. Think of it this way. If the universe came with a fixed instruction manual, with a single purpose for everyone, we would just be actors following a script. There would be no room for creativity, for true choice. But if the universe is a blank canvas, that means we can be the painters. If life has no imposed meaning, we can create our own. It's like receiving an incredible gift, the freedom to choose. The absence of a universal meaning isn't a tragic end. It's a liberating beginning. Albert Camus, a writer who thought a lot about this, used the myth of Sisyphus to explain this idea. Sisyphus was condemned by the gods to push a boulder up a mountain, only to watch it roll back down and repeat this forever. A meaningless, endless task. But Camus said something surprising. We must imagine Sisyphus happy. Why? Because even in a meaningless situation, Sisyphus can choose how to relate to his task, how to live in the moment. Likewise, we can choose our values, our meanings, our reasons for continuing. Not because the universe gave them to us, but precisely because it didn't. It is in the silence of the cosmos that our voice can be most authentic. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey, a process of accepting the void and gradually filling it not with illusions, but with conscious choices about what truly matters to you. If the universe is silent, it's up to you to write your own voice. This is perhaps the greatest challenge and the greatest gift of being human, to exist in a world without clear instructions and still create something meaningful. The emptiness we sometimes feel is not an enemy to be defeated, but a space to be creatively inhabited. Like a blank page that frightens the writer at first, but without which no story would be possible. We are not here to discover the meaning of life, but to invent it, not to find definitive answers, but to ask better questions. Not to follow a pre-established path, but to blaze our own trail. And you're not alone on this journey. We all, in some way, face the same challenge. Some run from it, others embrace it. What's your choice? Share your experience with this topic in the comments. How do you deal with the search for meaning? What helps you move forward when the void seems overwhelming? If this content touched something within you, please like it and share it with someone who might need to hear it today. And don't forget to watch the next content that's appearing on the card right now. I guarantee it will perfectly complement what we discussed here. Remember, in a universe without predefined meaning, your voice matters more than ever. Use it.